DeShaun Foster, outstanding tailback at UCLA, outstanding running backs coach at UCLA, and good enough to be running backs coach for the Vegas Raiders, gets the job as the head coach at UCLA in February after the transfer portal window has closed. All right. I'm putting emphasis on that because the man has a job to do now. Now, he had an introductory press conference, which was filled with all the hope and optimism that you would expect from a guy who is coming home to coach his alma mater. But let's get this out here, right? What we know about DeShaun Foster is he was a great running back and he was a great running backs coach. Matter of fact, 7 years running backs coach. He had consecutive top 20 finishes nationally with the Bruins. Bruins tailbacks were selected in 4 straight NFL drafts. Foster, 7 years. They were pretty outstanding. Josh Kelly was at the back of his introductory press conference going, "I love you, coach." And I think that's the sentiment, right? Now, the problem with this is all the players love their new head coach in DeShaun Foster. That's a problem because the wisdom is you don't hire the guy the kids like because that's their buddy, and your buddy can't coach you, right? Your buddy needs to be able to get into your behind if it's time to get into your behind. And I don't know if DeShaun Foster's got that sort of flavor. Along with, we don't even know what kind of staff he's going to put together. And this is a tremendously big job for a first-time head coach, not just because it's UCLA, but as I mentioned, because they're transitioning from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten, which is loaded. And it ain't like they're going in there as one of the best programs to be joining. You're going in there with Washington, who played in the national championship game, Oregon, who looks like a national championship contender. My goodness, I keep going on about this, right? But the point to raise here is that DeShaun Foster, being a black head coach, is going to have all of this at front, right? I'm big on this because when we get black head coaches, it's a big deal, right? Carl Durrell had this job. He didn't last very long because it's difficult, right? The same thing, you look around, they expect to be winning 10 games there. We're talking about Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, who was also the player's buddy that made it work, but there are times through the last 2 years you're going, dog, can you figure it out? And that's with an outstanding staff around him. Still some blunders. Think about Ohio State and Notre Dame last year. That's what I'm talking about. Can DeShaun Foster survive those sorts of things? Interesting. But more important for me is hiring an alumnus is going to satiate your alumni base at UCLA and your fan base at UCLA because they got a dude that they want to get behind, right? One of their own, as it were. Talking to one UCLA fan, and he told me, I just want somebody that gives a damn. I didn't feel like Chip gave a damn. I want somebody who wants to be the head coach at UCLA. And I said, cool, you got somebody who gives a damn. Now let's see if gives a damn can win games. Because that's what it's about, right? I went to the University of Tulsa when Ty Graham was the head coach. Ty Graham did not mince words about what he was there to do. And he did not act like he was there to be friends with anybody at the university. He was there to coach ball, right? He would show up to College Fitness Center, act in some kind of way, get under people's skin, go win 10 games. It's all fine, right? If you win, you can do what you want. If you do not win, then you're going to have problems. Then you're going to have to shake hands. You're going to have to kiss babies. You're going to have to go to more than one caravan stop, okay? Because you ain't doing enough, baby. And that means winning football games. Now, does it work to hire an alumnus to coach your football team? All right, I'm going to give you some names here, right? Guys to go back to coach their alma mater. Brent Key at Georgia Tech. Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State. Jeff Brom at Louisville. Mario Cristobal at Miami, Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, Kalani Sitake at Brigham Young, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, Kirby Smart at Georgia, and for giggles, Scott Frost in Nebraska, David Shaw at Stanford, and Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. Okay? You know what? I'm going to throw one in there just for the bonus, for the old heads in the room. Phil Fulmer at Tennessee. All right? Mostly because Phil Fulmer and Jim Harbaugh are the last two guys to coach their alma maters to a national championship. Also, take a look at that list, right? Does it work for you to hire the alumnus? Sorta. But you look at the numbers. So 538 did this in 2019. They took a look at, from 1975 to 2018, a total of 146 alumni head coaches got jobs. 52.6% won their games, and then 51% of non-alumni won their games. Point is, it's middle of the road. It's low risk, right? And it's a high ceiling. So if DeShaun Foster goes out and wins 6 games, they're going to throw a party this year. DeShaun Foster goes out and wins 3 games, he's going to survive to 2025. And then we'll have to wait and see. Either way, it's tough in these streets, right? because we're getting down to a place where guys are coming in and guys are going out, and you don't have any continuity in your program, and that's difficult to win without continuity.
If you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the #1 college football show on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcast.